Good morning, wonderful humans. So, are you awake yet? Because maybe you are now more. So this is your daily creative for March 22. So a lot of 2-2 energy. So March 22, 2022. I know that really February 22nd was like the big one, but I still think of some 2-2 energy, so perhaps something new is coming in today. You could be feeling regenerated, rejuvenated, I'm hearing as well. But yeah, let's dive right in, shall we? So I invite the angels, my spirit guides, my guardian angels, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space. And I ask that it is a safe space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, and healing. Okay, let's dive in, shall we? Your hero's journey oracle. I feel like I'm dancing in my chair. I'm so excited for you. I also just love doing tarot readings, so may occasionally burst into song, but here we go. I feel like there's already a tarot reader doing that, and he is so good at it. Oh, so good. So good. Anyway, Spirit, can you please give my wonderful collective here just some starting messages, a jumping off point, so to speak, for my fabulous and wonderful and brilliant and radiant into the infinite daily creative collective. Thank you so much. Never a crowd on the leading edge. Definitely some Abraham Hicks vibes there. Never a crowd on the leading edge. Honor those who honor you. Become the elixir. Ooh, that's such a nice word. Become the elixir. Let your glow do the heavy lifting. Hell yeah. That has a lot of Empress energy to it. Woo, that is great. I don't know about how your day is starting, but if it's starting with this card, that is delightful energy. Become the elixir. I'm reading some sensuality on that card as well, so I'm just a little bit excitable about that too. I'm like, dang, that's some nice energy. What would your higher self do? You are divinity in blue jeans. Heck yes. Again, more High Priestess card, right? That's just, ugh. You are divinity in blue jeans. Ain't that the truth? Okay. Spirit, can you please give my wonderful creative collective here a little bit of guidance, well, a lot of bit of guidance, let's be real here. We know you got it, so we know you got it going on, Spirit. Can you please give my creative collective some guidance on their hero's journey with a project, relationship, situation, or anything really that they come to this reading with guidance that they're seeking? So for the ordinary world, so this is the world that you are in before, I guess this could be considered your present moment energy, the energy that you were or are in at the start of a journey that you're embarking upon. Okay, that's a lot, but and by a lot I mean two. Queen of Cups and Seven of Pentacles. So that's your ordinary world. That's your starting point. That's pretty good. You're in touch with your emotions. You're investing your energy wisely. Perhaps a little bit impatient. The Seven of Pentacles I read as some kind of a bit of impatient energy. But we'll keep clarifying to see here. So that's sort of the world that you're starting in, which is a good place, right? Like you're emotionally connected. You have the seeds planted. You're kind of waiting for them to come to fruition. And there are things that you've been doing in the meantime. So I'm not getting this like frivolous use of energy, even though frivolous use of energy can be kind of judgmental, a judgmental perspective. So let's keep it higher vibe, that, you know, not frivolous, just a little bit more focused on, I guess, pleasure and things that may not involve that long-term investment, but you've been, for the most part, investing your energy well. And it could be an investment of emotional energy. It could be that there's something in that. So it could be that this is a journey of emotional investment that you're embarking upon, or that is related to a relationship, or awarenesses about relationships. Ace of Pentacles is your call to adventure. I mean, that's pretty good. That's like, if you're looking for a call, if you're looking to answer any call, and, you know, if you're looking for a sort of bat signal in the tarot, Ace of Pentacles is a pretty good one, because it's not that it's fast-moving energy, it's stable energy. It's not that it's fast-moving energy. Holy crap. So it's not that it's the Eight of Swords energy, although there could be an element of it to that you want the Eight of Swords or Eight of Wands energy. You're like, come on, come on, come on, come on, right? With this Seven of Pentacles, you're like, come on, let's do this. Come on, I'm ready. Come on. I'm hearing, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Yeah. Are we there yet? On the split. Come on. Okay. Spirit's got some stuff up their sleeve today, so I'm channeling this like incredible sense of humor, though. Lots of mirth. Mirth upon mirth and mirth. Mirth for days. So Spirit, can you please clarify the teacher coming in or the wisdom to be gained from this situation, please, for my creative collective? Thank you so much. Nine of Wands. Reluctance to engage in conflict over what you know is what I'm hearing. Reluctance to engage, choosing your battles wisely because you've learned. There's not a defensive energy, although it can be a bit of a defensive energy. You're not really, I'm getting also Four of Pentacles as well. Okay, so this is the, I did not clarify it yet, but these are the cards that Spirit gave me for these positions here. So between your kind of your minor challenges, companions along the way, and other challenges that you'll face, like be it in the form of people or thought forms. Nine of Swords is definitely, it's not even Nine of Swords. It's interesting that I mentioned thought form, because Nine of Swords to me represents thought patterns, but it also represents thought patterns, but it almost represents thought forms. Now, the reason why I'm saying that, now thought forms, for those of you that don't know, thought forms is sort of the accumulation of beliefs and energy around a thought pattern that sort of coagulate into a bigger energy that is very detectable and can stick with you and really screw with your energy. And when I say screw with your energy, I don't mean like mess with lights and like little things like that. I'm talking about like it can really make it hard for you to change patterns, not because the energy is imposing upon you, but because you haven't dealt with the larger, I think of it almost as like a sort of deleterious body of work that your brain comes up with about something. And the reason why I'm thinking of thought forms is just because of the way that the birds are taking shape in this card, and it's almost creating almost a separate form, right? A separate form. So that could be something to think about as well. That's for test allies and enemies. So then this here is sort of the large challenge, the crescendo, the climax to the journey, and the treasure found afterwards, the riches, the understanding that you've come to. I'm going to take all of those. So we got the World, Three of Pentacles, and Seven of Swords. I mean, I don't like when the Seven of Swords shows up, but it's because it's a swords energy here. And I don't see the Five of Swords either yet. Oh my gosh. What I'm picking up on is that it's not something that's like it doesn't have that same charge to it. So the World card. So we got the World card here, which is, that is Saturn energy. So this could be related to a Saturn lesson, or it could be that you're requiring some sense of discipline or hard work. The reason why I'm saying that is because of the Three of Pentacles. I'm going to keep pulling. I feel like I could just talk for days about this stuff. Okay, so the road back. So once you're headed back, the journey is you know, sorted and taken care of, and you've defeated the monster. You found out that there's no monsters under the bed. Maybe there are, maybe there were, but you've conquered them. And then on the way back, you've got the Knight of Cups. And then so with your feet kind of in these two different worlds from where you came and where you are now, or where you're headed, what I'm getting for this card here is a Six of Cups. Maybe you're looking at the past a bit differently, which is excellent, which is an excellent perspective. Eight of Swords, High Priestess. Yeah, Temperance. Okay. I just kind of pulled these 3 cards to clarify that 6 of Cups, because the 6 of Cups can mean past life. It can also mean past life soulmate. It can generally mean nostalgia. It can, and the way I read nostalgia is nostalgia can be grief that we haven't really processed yet or truly let go of. So whew, all of that. There's a lot in this spread. Woo! It's from March 22nd, but here we go. So, oh, sorry. If anyone does not like cracking knuckles, I apologize. Bad habits. But so I am getting that there's some defensiveness here. And I don't think it's not without merit. The 9 of Wands I read is a bit defensive energy. And defensiveness doesn't happen, like, we can't be defensive about something we're not passionate about, right? We're not defensive about it. But there's, one of the lessons in the Course in Miracles workbook, the student part at the back, is defense is a form of attack, right? So when you're defending something, you're also kind of getting ready to attack. So you're anticipating a state of war with yourself or other people. And I think that understanding how to channel that passion into a sense of strength is, because this is in your kind of lower 1111 was just on the time. Because this is in, I think of the tests, like the lower, the everyday test. Think of the, it's like a minor arcana test, right? And then you have like the big ones. The big ones are here. So this is like the little challenge that you face along the way that, like, oh no, we lost the map, that kind of thing, right? I think that part of this here is that there is, it is remembering how strong you are, and that you don't need to come from a place of defensiveness and attack, because you are starting from a place of emotional awareness and emotional awareness of what you want to invest emotionally. Emotional intimacy, this could also be that card too, right? Or this set of cards. And the Ace of Pentacles in the call. So if the Ace of Pentacles is what's ringing, if you see the Ace of Pentacles phone number showing up on your phone, that's a great one to answer, right? That's not going to be a telemarketer. That's not going to be someone who's wasting your time. That is value, and that is already getting roots. It's already gaining roots, right? So when you transplant plants, so if I have to move plants because they grow out of their pot, I have a couple of them, and there's 2 of them that I'm like on the fence about starting to do that with, but there's already roots that are starting to sprout from this without it even being in the ground yet. So there's definite value here in what is calling you. So what is asking you to go on this journey, or what is calling you. This could be a sense of adventure, right? Now the teacher is possibly things that have happened in the past that have led you to this place of feeling like really hesitant. This is also hesitation. I'm feeling a lot of hesitation on this card. Like, it didn't really work out that great before, so why would it now, right? But the truth is that the things that happen in our lives are not really failures in the sense of we did anything wrong. There's a lot of things. There's a song by Jason Mraz. The lyrics are, I'm not going to sing it, but the lyrics are, you win some, you learn some. And I feel like that is this card here, but sort of the hesitation and sort of fiery, almost like a chip on your shoulder about it. A chip on your shoulder. Interesting. And the call that you're being asked is to really stand in your power, and to be in your 5th house energy, in joy, in fun, in pleasure, and to not have a lot of second guesses about it. And also to be in touch with how you feel about it, to be in touch with your emotions about it, to be okay with that, right? This is very calm seas energy. This is somebody who knows how they feel. And I've picked up from other tarot channels like Soulful Revolution that this is like the sort of I hesitate to do gender binaries like this, but for whom that operate from that perspective, it's sort of a masculine energy in a feminine energy in a masculine suit. So that is there as well. So this is like, I think that your emotions are going to be your best friend right now. Your emotions are going to be your sort of North Star and your guide. Right here, you get the feeling that you're not necessarily guided by starlight or following by starlight. You're trying to light your own path and to, use the fire of the things that have happened before that have left you feeling a little defensive as the guiding light. It's sort of a weird hermit energy, right? Like this is sort of, the hermit is actually, that's funny. I love when you're just channeling info and then you say it and then you realize like, oh yeah, that is true. So the Hermit is the major arcana reflection of this card, right? So you think about, what are you letting be the wisdom that guides you? Are you letting your fiery passion be, or are you letting the fiery passion that has made you kind of defensive and hesitant be what guides you? So that is something that is going to be a really important teacher. So it's interesting that this too is in the teacher position in this spread, because that is what energy is coming through, right? So the tests and challenges are really about being in touch with your emotions and being in touch with your own sense of strength. It could be that there's a Leo that you're coming into contact with that is kind of going to be a test of your patience. And then so in the I guess in the antagonist position here, I'm getting the Nine of Swords. So I think this is you in your head a lot. This is, we have the Nine of Wands in the teaching position. And I think that this is the Nine of Swords being here in the sort of antagonist position is really an articulation of the fact that you may be in your head a little bit too much. It's okay. The birds aren't attacking her. They're just making a shit ton of noise. She can't sleep. She can't rest. Right. So, but there is one, right? So this, I read this as thought forms, number one, because of the way that that took shape. But there's one thought that I'm getting that's more important and powerful than the others, that is sort of also its own way a guiding light through this, right? With this little wisps of energy. So perhaps focusing on that one, and this could be being up at night, and I can relate to that. The past couple of nights I've been up, I would say between 1 and 2, and I can't get back to sleep until like 3:30 or 4. So I have affirmations beside my bed, and they read. So, and I read this as I've taped it on the wall, which is probably bad for the paint. Like, it's fine. But I've taped them up, and they are, I am loved. I am worthy. I am safe. I am free. I am powerfully protected. I am a master of my my heart and my mind. Something along those lines. I'm reading them from, because it's, I have one space here. So, yeah. That's what I'm getting on this, is maybe doing affirmations or having affirmations at the ready, so that when these things come up, you're not taken with sinking into thought forms. And that's the other thing too, is that if it is a thought form, there's a specific way to deal with it. And it's almost like cutting a cord with your mental energy. And I don't recommend doing that, because there is something to be said for the misapplication of cord cutting practices. And a lot of people just, they're like, oh, I don't like this person, and I'm just going to cut the cord. But then if you don't deal with the underlying issues, if you don't deal with the place in your aura that thing got hooked, then what you're doing is leaving your aura looking like Swiss cheese, and something else will hook it just as easily. So I would not recommend doing cord cutting practices without some thought towards the implications of doing that and how to manage your energy. So managing your energy first. Is it annoying? Yeah, because when you're getting into these things and figuring it all out, what can happen is a sense of frustration, right? Frustration is just a sense of frustration at feeling like your wheels are spinning. But there is healing taking place. The reason why I say this is because the sort of the riches on the road through this journey that you're taking. And it could be too, like the Nine of Swords, there's never a crowd on the leading edge, right? So keep that in mind too, and that's not to say that like, oh, worrying means that you're, doing something important. But I think that worrying can indicate that you are in the midst of an important cycle that's ending. It can mean that you are in the midst of an important project, and that things mean something to you. They mean something to you, right? Because it's valuable to you. And that in itself is a sign for you that you're doing something important, right? Nine of Swords, we often think I think of this as sort of another side of a Five of Pentacles, right? You're about to get a whole lot of clarity. But for the time being, you're really lost in your head. And when we lose ourselves in our head, it's because we're trying to protect ourselves from the prospect of losing something or someone. So we use these thought patterns to sort of predict the worst case scenario. We use runaway worry we use it liberally on things because we want to make sure that we know what's coming. But I think that just letting go and remembering, so letting go, I see this as kind of a surrender card, right? Because you're comfortable in your emotions, you're grounded. It's not really a Pentacles card, but I think of it as a little bit, because there is some element of being in touch with the ground, right? Like it's grounded water energy to me. I don't know why, the grounded water energy. Anyways, I think that there's also the other side of that is that you are strong enough. You are capable, right? Don't doubt your strength. Don't doubt your shine, you know? But when it comes to the challenges on the road, there's the Seven of Swords here. So it could be that there's something that you're worried about being taken from you. There could be energy. It could so I see the Seven of Swords as well. This is also, there's a moon card here. So it's things taken by moonlight, things taken at night. And so if this is the card of nighttime worry and anxiety, it could be that there's things, your energy is being drained at night because you're worrying. And I'm getting the impression that the sort of crescendo of the ordeal or the concern or the worry is related to either a collaboration or some project that you're working on. Three of Pentacles, right? It could be in the traditional Rider-Waite. This is work that's taking place in a church. So this could be something related to tradition. This could be related something to specific institutions. So work and collaborations there. And that sort of I'm getting that as the sort of the crescendo, not battle, but I think like the main scene where everyone's weapons are out and weapons are drawn, right? And that's the Seven of Swords energy, is like weapons are drawn, but like, if it's just a collaboration, what if it's just a freaking knitting needle, right? Are we overestimating what we think other people are out to take from us or to get from us, right? And I think that that thinking in that perspective this is what the treasure and the riches are in this journey that you're taking today or this week or whenever. And I think that this is sort of an alchemy card, right? The world is it is Saturn, so there is a bit of Saturn energy here. This could be something that, a lesson that's returning. So your Saturn return, you could be in the midst of a Saturn return. But I think about this as a major alchemy card. And, you know, the wheel tends to be the cyclical, like the karmic cycles and the cycles that are coming and going and ending. But I'm seeing this in definite alignment with become the elixir. Become the elixir. Let your glow do the heavy lifting, right? Let your glow do the heavy lifting. So that's what I'm getting from these two cards, is that they're very similar, specifically with some of the shapes. And, you know, that the High Priestess popped out. And I said that this is very High Priestess energy, along with the what would your higher self do, right? What would your higher self do? You are divinity in blue jeans. So those two cards came out. And then to clarify the spread, the High Priestess was here too. So I'm going to get to that, but just keep that in mind as we go through, right? So, you know, become the elixir. So there could be difficult emotions or difficult situations or things that you're transmuting and alchemizing to move forward. And that is, you know, what opens you up on the way back to where, you know, on the journey back home, right? You're headed back to the Shire and you could meet a Knight of Cups. It's interesting that yesterday the Knight of Pentacles was in this exact spot. So it could be that there are people that you're meeting now that you're free. There could be things that you're open to now that you're free. There could be love that you're open to now that you're free, that you weren't on the same frequency with before, right? Abraham Hicks says that it's like a radio dial. Now that your radio dial is tuned to a frequency of love, that's what you can welcome in, be it in a project, in a person, in a place, in a thing. Like you are open to that love now. And then I think what's happening, so that, you know, you're looking back. There's a sense of looking back and this nostalgia for the world that you left and the world that you're into now and headed to. It's okay to look back, but you know, nostalgia to me can be a kind of a form of grief as well. So a grief at what we left behind. So make sure that you're looking back, but in the frequency of love. Make sure that you're looking back in the frequency of love. And so this is clarified here by the Eight of Swords. And this is really sort of the reflection, the way that this card is put together artistically. It tells me that there's like, you're looking back, right? There's a mirror, there's a reflection. Be wary of how you look back. Be wary of how you look back, because there needs to be an element of balance. So this also clarified that. So Temperance, so Sag card. And this too, I think of as an alchemy card. You know, the traditional Rider-Waite has Archangel Michael with the two cups and the waters flowing between them, right? So I think of it as like an alchemization of emotions. So I think if you're looking back on this journey that's happened or that's happening right now, it's really important to balance your emotions about it and to make sure that you're looking at it through the, you know, you're making sure that you're looking at the reflection of it that's in your highest and best good. So, and also making sure that you are maybe a little bit making choices. The Knights are offers, right? So making sure that you're making choices and are investing in things, but also that you are surrounding yourself with people who reflect back to you the frequency that you most want to associate with. People are reflections to us. And I'm not saying that people are, thinking about people in terms of a utility basis alone, because that's not healthy. What I'm talking about is looking at folks around you and saying, is this reflecting the quality of life back to me that I want to live? Am I contributing to these folks around me what they are contributing to me? Is there a reciprocity? Is there give and take? Is there balance? Right? But again, this is another alchemy card. And with this become the elixir, I really get the feeling that where you may have been looking for healing outside of you, it may have burned you a little bit, and that's become one of your greatest teachers. And, this is the sort of, the call is knowing what to invest in this week. And that, I think that that's something to do with investing in yourself. That could be investing in the right opportunities because you're strong enough, right? We tend to think of the Nine of Pentacles as confidence, and it is definitely confidence. So several things just went through my head. Okay, so the Nine of Wands is also the minor arcana reflection of the Strength card, in addition to the Hermit card. So what we have is sort of your inner strength is your teacher. Your inner strength is the teacher, is what I'm hearing. Now, we have the Nine of Wands and Nine of Swords. We don't have the Nine of Pentacles or the Nine of Cups. So what this could be, we do have the King of Cups. So what this could be a lesson in here, specifically in this teaching perspective, is that there is a way that you've been approaching life regarding what you want to invest your time in. And there could be some resistance that you've been facing, or resistance that you've been putting out into the world. And that could be related to a sense of urgency that you've wanted to manifest things. Because when we approach life from that urgency, it's because we want to control the outcome. And we can say that we don't. We can say that we're better than that. We can say all these things. I know, because I can be a butthead about that too, right? The uncertainty is a very real thing. Fear of being burned is a really scary thing, but it also doesn't do you any justice. It doesn't do you any good, right? It leaves you here. And it's really hard for things to flow when you're in that Nine of Wands energy. But the Nine of Pentacles not being here and the Nine of Cups tells me that there is a sense of fulfillment that is coming to the fore when you embody your strength, when you embody that Leo 5th house energy, the sun energy, right? When you embody that light that emanates from within you, right? What would your higher self do? You are divinity in blue jeans. You are divinity in blue jeans, right? That's it. I think for some reason the movie Bruce Almighty is coming to mind. I feel like my spirit guides are very much like if Robin Williams and Jim Carrey had like a spirit guide baby, that's what they would be. Yeah. But there is something that's coming to a sense of completion today or this week. And there are lessons that you're learning, that you have learned, that you're taking with you on the journey. So again, the channel that I learned a lot from was Soulful Revolution. So like that channel taught me that this is kind of like the card. You know all of this. You know this so much. And a lot of these the cards that we pulled at the beginning to sort of kick off the reading were cards that are kind of about like there's never a crowd on the leading edge. Honor those who honor you. This kind of feels like there's something about that tied into this Nine of Wands energy. Like somebody might have burned you and you're just really resistant to not necessarily change, but that's your, it's very Chiron energy where what wounded you the most deeply is what you're here to give in terms of a medicine to the world, right? What you're here to offer in terms of light to the world, the strength that you're here to give the world. And I mean, the world, that would be a literal representation of this card, but I feel like that's sort of the portal that you might be stepping through, is the understanding and awareness in that healing. Now, on a side, I see the Queen and King of Cups here, which can be counterpart energy. So it could be that you're healing in a relationship with yourself, so this inner sense of union. But it could also be that you're bringing that to you. You know, this could be healing a process. This could be healing a pattern where you were keeping these things from yourself because you were in this Nine of Wands energy, and then you would get up in your head about it and push it away without realizing it because you never really gave things a chance to take root, right? And this is what you're being called to do, is to give things a chance to take root for somebody. And when you do, this Knight of Cups comes, this very sweet, romantic energy, very sensual energy, very passionate energy. Yeah, I think that's quite important. And who doesn't love roses and wine, right? I mean, is it gonna focus? I don't think it will, but on that picnic, in the picnic basket, there's wine, and he's holding roses. I prefer lilies, but still, flowers and wine. This is very sweet energy, right? So I would say lean into that. And even if it means that you're embodying that towards yourself, that's something really important to think about too, right? And that it's safe. I'm hearing it's safe for you to love. It's safe for you to love. Huh. You know what I'm going to do right now is kind of break with the tradition of having all of my decks in a row. Get the pun? Do you get it? And I'm going to pull some chakra cards here just to get like a kind of addition onto that healing. So these are chakra cards for Belief Change by Nikki Grisham record. So in terms of this spread, Spirit, can you just give my wonderful collective here some how do we know what to pick when they all come out? Just some guidance here in terms of which energy centers may be the most useful to work with right now, and that may be the most useful to heal and the most helpful to focus on. This deck is new, so it smells like a lot. Autonomy and self-worth. So autonomy. I move beyond the limits that my ancestors, society, and I have unconsciously placed upon me. I am free. I recognize myself as an autonomous being of infinite possibility and potential. I am free to shine my light and strengthen my ego as I discover my potential. And the affirmation here is, I am a limitless being. So it's solar plexus energy. Actually, I'll leave that out. And then also self-worth. And this clarifies sort of the challenges here that we're facing. And so the challenges, the protagonist, the antagonist that we're facing, and the little tests along the way. And self-worth. I am worthy. I listen to my needs and desires and honor myself. Whew. Was it this one here? Yeah. Honor, and I honor myself. Honor those who honor you. I'm almost getting the sense of like, I see the light in you, like that namaste energy. I give myself the time, space, and loving kindness that I need to manifest all that I am. I discover my true self by going inward and becoming my own best friend. And that is, I nurture. So that's the nurture card. So I think that there's some energy to work with here related to the lower chakras in terms of processing emotions, integrating lessons, and letting go and knowing what to let go of to move forward and take action upon. And I think that it improves your sense of intuition as well. So I think that these things can kind of block our intuition and get the sort of lines clogged, right? So I'm going to pull Miracles Now card from Gabrielle Bernstein. So Spirit, can you please give my wonderful creative collective here just a message to take with them today, March 22nd, with them on the journey, just an affirmation to round out this reading and to really open their heart space and bring about some healing here. Thank you so much, Spirit. I show up for myself and the world. Yeah. That's a really great card to cap out this reading. I show up for myself and the world. There's a lot of that energy here. A lot of that energy. When's the last time you really honored yourself with action towards something extremely positive, but not just like positive for frivolous reasons or self-indulgent reasons, but when's the last time you really took a look at what was happening in your world and did something that honored you? You know, I was talking to somebody, so as those who follow this channel know, I am a trans person. And you know that I am transitioning. And that has presented some unique challenges lately. I was in a washroom at a Walmart, and someone waited for me outside the washroom to inform me and make sure that I knew and was interrogated appropriately about whether that was the right washroom for me. And I just needed to go, right? So I was talking to someone about it, and they said, how do you respond in that moment in a way that honors yourself? And I've been thinking about this honoring yourself. So this could be wisdom that I'm gaining that I can now impart to somebody watching. And it's not unique to transness. It's not unique to trans experiences. It's not unique to that, right? I think that this idea of honoring yourself is really being connected. It's almost like the merging of these two energies, the Strength card and the High Priestess. You know, you have the inner knowing that then combines with the right action. And I think of the Sun as very solar plexus energy, and I think of Cups energy as very sacral chakra energy. So these are lining up quite well. And quite well meaning that they're lining up in a way that communicates pretty directly a specific message for somebody. So when we think about honoring ourselves, it's because we're connecting to our intuition about something, and then we're able to move forward with a sense of confidence and inner strength. And that is really beautiful energy. So I show up for myself and the world. When you honor yourself, you may think that you're just doing something for you, but what you're actually doing, yeah, right on the top of this deck, honor thyself. That was yesterday's message. So this is also, you know, it's also a carryover here too, right? So when you show up for yourself, what you're also allowing is the world to take that example. So you're leading by example when you do that, when you show up for you, when you pull out of 9 of Wands energy and you go back into what I feel is like everyone's natural state in this High Priestess, this inner knowing, this balanced energy, this strength energy. And also the High Priestess is reflected in the 8 of Pentacles, which showed up in yesterday's reading as well. So there's consistency, right? Like there's a golden thread that's weaving through all of this. But in terms of the major signs, so I see Venus here. Sorry, my bad. The Moon card, which showed up in yesterday's reading too. There's Sag here. I'm seeing some water, so water signs potentially, Leo, and the World card, which is Saturn. So not too many signs. So they could be people that you're dealing with. It could be, you know, where your placements are in those houses. So that would be High Priestess. So that's the Moon. So that would be 4th house. And Temperance is Sag, which is the 9th house. And Strength, so Leo, which is 5th house. Yeah, and Saturn, which is the 11th house. Well, Saturn, Uranus, I think. But yeah, so that could be your house placements. Those cards just went, whew, they just flew right off. So I am going to give you these 4 cards here. The other 2, there's 4 more here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Of course you do, universe. So I was a little bit frustrated with the deck for doing this. And then as if to be like, heh, I heart you. I was like, yes, you do, Spirit. Thank you. You better. No, I'm kidding. So I'm going to put these back. So this is also, just so that you know, this is the Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection deck by Mike Dooley. So it's not only about being right. Oof, righteous indignation. That will get you every time. That's what I'm getting in this and the transition through it. So it's not only about being right. In all tests of character, when 2 viewpoints are pitted against each other, in the final analysis, the thing that will strike you the most is not who is right or wrong, strong or weak, wise or foolish, but who went the greater length in considering the other's perspective. Who went the greater length in considering the other's perspective. Some of that alchemy, right? Become the elixir. You are divinity in blue jeans. High Priestess. So your treasure is at hand. Building on the Treasure Island card from yesterday too. Sure, you can always find prettier, handsomer, skinnier, wiser, richer, younger, zippier, but more often than not, one learns the most, laughs the loudest, and smiles the widest with those they've already found, especially when they stop looking elsewhere. Actually, zippier is on quite a few lists. Tally-ho, the universe. Your treasure is at hand. So a lot of like I'm getting a lot of vibes of where you are, that what's that saying? Wherever you go, there you are. You take yourself with you, that kind of thing. John Kabat-Zinn. So it could be a call to meditate more, especially with the High Priestess here. That could be an action forward. So you will be surprised. You will be surprised. Ask with love, and their answer may surprise you. Yet whatever their answer, be happy, and this may surprise them. And a quote here is, "Hi, it's love, and I, the universe." Whatever their answer, be happy. That's beautiful energy too. A lot of confidence, a lot of these self-worth things and autonomy, right? Don't be misled. When fear speaks, it's always wrong unless being chased by wild beasts. And when love speaks, it's always right and usually bouncy. Game on, the universe. Don't be misled. So I think that's a call to kind of get in touch with your emotions. So King of Cups, Queen of Cups here. So stay in touch with your emotions today and this week. Become the elixir, which is more cups energy. What would your higher self do? Remember that you, my friends, are divinity in blue jeans. Yes, you are divinity in blue jeans. Lean into it. That could be a Saturn lesson for one or many of you. There could be something that was activated to do with, the 10th or 11th house for you around the Virgo full moon. So keep all of this in mind as you move forward. And I hope that today, whenever you get a chance to watch this, that the day meets you and greets you with the utmost love, light, and healing. So take care, my friends, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video.